Today we're going to be looking at Thailand versus the Philippines, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let me note, these are personal observations that are based on my 30 years plus experience as a professional expat working in Southeast Asia. Some info is based on data, others are my opinions and may be controversial and could cause some butthurt. Mea culpa. The topics we'll be covering are infrastructure, crime and safety, housing quality, healthcare, medical, visa, culture and corruption, dating and marriage, climate and pollution, costs and spending, things that you need to be considering. First of all, let's look at infrastructure. We have the electrical grid. On this one, the Philippines has some serious issues. If you look at through media, you'll see that it often has brownouts. Thailand, you get power outages occasionally, but nothing like the Philippines. The electrical grid and that sort of thing is much better in Thailand. As far as the road systems, they're pretty much equal. Thailand might have a slight edge on this one. Um, so call it equal. Public transport and access. As far as terms of public transport, I would say Thailand is better on this one, primarily due to their fantastic bus system. They have these amazing large deluxe buses that will take you all over the country. Unfortunately, you might have that a little bit in the Philippines, but they can't take you to the other islands. So you're going to be dependent upon flights. Granted, flights are cheap, but they're cheap in Thailand as well. So you can fly anywhere around the country for, 50, 60 bucks. So it's not really an issue. However, if you're on a budget, clearly Thailand is going to be the winner on this one. If you're wanting to go anywhere around the country, you can hop a bus or a minibus, and it will take you there. Um, Next, internet and cellular. This one I'm giving a slight edge to Thailand as well, and that's primarily due to one, the electrical grid. You get like I said, the electricity, you get brownouts in the Philippines. However, the internet connectivity is good in both countries. You may have a little bit more difficulty getting fiber optic into remote areas in the Philippines. Cellular data is good in both countries. However, it can be a little bit more patchy in the Philippines as you go to these outer remote islands. In Thailand, you get pretty good cellular coverage in most places. In some, really remote locations and provinces, it might be a bit patchy depending upon your provider, but generally speaking, it's about the same. Uh, so the winner on this one is Thailand infrastructure. Next, we're going to be looking at crime and safety. I use Numbio's crime index to determine and look at the stats. You should go to the website and look at it for yourself. Thailand was 38, Philippines was 64. Organized crime, Thailand was 24, the Philippines was 45. So based on their statistics, uh, crime is much lower in Thailand than it is in the Philippines. Something that you should consider, or which I consider the reason why for the crime, and this has to do with the desperation factors. Uh, the Philippines, the people there are generally poor, and I'm talking grinding poverty poor. Um, they don't have the social upward mobility as they do in Thailand, which causes more desperation, which causes the crime rate to increase. The next thing is safety in terms of natural disasters. Um, Thailand recently had an earthquake, but it was centered in Myanmar. One building fell that was in development. That was due to a Chinese company using shoddy materials. There was a tsunami about 20 years ago, but that's something that is irregular. Um, so natural disasters in the Philippines is a common occurrence. It's on the ring of fire. Look at the geology. It's on the plates. So you often have earthquakes. It's an island chain, so you have volcanoes. Sometimes they go off. And then the next thing is practically every year you see typhoons hitting the Philippines. So in terms of safety, Thailand is the clear winner across the board. Housing and accommodation quality. Okay, access and availability. If you're talking about bottom of the barrel, super cheap, it's about even. You can rent a cheap little studio apartment in Thailand for $50 a month. I've seen them. They're nothing that I would aspire to be moving to, but they're available just as they are in the Philippines. However, if you want quality, Western style quality, a nice place with a swimming pool, a gym, well maintained, you're going to have way more access to nice houses and condominiums in Thailand across the board, and they will be more affordable. If you want quality Western style in the Philippines, you pay for it, whether that be in condos, homes, or even in hotels. You pay a premium in the Philippines if you want quality. One other thing that you need to consider if you're thinking about buying a home or building a home in the Philippines or in Thailand, both countries, you're going to want, if you're not in a private gated community, you're going to want to have a large buffer zone around you. So you're going to want to buy a large piece of land. The reason why is because oftentimes the people, both in Thailand and the Philippines, they love their karaoke and they love to burn garbage and plastics. If you have neighbors that are close to you that are, drinking and getting loud, singing karaoke, burning plastic, it can be a freaking nightmare. So in these, as I just mentioned, Thailand, clear winner on this one. Medical and hospitals and doctors. Okay, on this one, Thailand again is the clear winner. Thailand's got a booming medical industry. People from all around the world come to Thailand to have medical procedures done as well as dental work. You cannot say the same thing about the Philippines. Now, granted, not all the good hospitals and doctors are across the country. If you want to get good medical care, you're going to want to go to one of the larger cities in Thailand. You can visit Bangkok, you can hit Chiang Mai, you can hit Hua Hin, Pattaya, Phuket. Those main zones have good hospitals. If you want the best of the best, you need to go to the capital city. Uh, Now, with if you're out in the outer provinces, uh, you don't want to go to one of those hospitals if it's something serious. If you broke a leg, you need it reset or something. You want to go to a good doctor. You want to go to a good hospital. Same is true in the Philippines, but it's even worse. There's not as many quality hospitals. The doctors aren't as good. The only cities that you're going to want to go to get good quality medical care in the Philippines is going to be in Manila, possibly Cebu City. Now, note, rich Filipinos, if they're wealthy, they don't go to the hospitals in the Philippines. They come to Thailand, they go to Singapore, or they go to Western countries. That says it all. Winner, Thailand. Visa, long stays, and retirement. On this one, the clear winner is the Philippines. In the Philippines, it's very easy to stay for long periods of time or to get retirement. It's fairly headache free, and the costs are negligible. Unlike Thailand, staying for a long period of time or retirement is can be a headache, and it's going to cost you money. If you want a retirement visa in Thailand, you need to show 800,000 baht in a Thai bank, which is the equivalent of around 22 to $24,000, depending on the exchange rate. Or you're going to need to prove that you have a monthly income of around 50,000 baht, which is roughly 1,300 to 1,500 US dollars per month. So visa, long stays, retirement, Philippines is the clear winner. Cultural considerations. The winner on this one really depends on the individual. Having lived in both the Philippines and Thailand, I can say the friendly factor is about even. You know, both Thais and Filipinos are extremely friendly people, so no problem there. In terms of food, the clear winner on this one is Thailand. There's a reason why you don't see Filipino restaurants all around the world, unlike you do with Thai restaurants. And the reason why is because the Filipino food isn't very good. Personally, I found it disgusting. They serve you chunks of lard. There's a few dishes that I liked in the Philippines: adobo, um, fresh lumpia, Bicol Express. Those are lovely dishes, but generally speaking, the food in the Philippines is absolutely horrible. Um, Unlike Thailand, you can get wonderful curries, soups, noodle dishes. Uh, Street food is safe to eat. Uh, Thailand is just amazing when it comes to food and affordability. Next one, language. Well, this one, if you're coming from a Western nation, the Philippines is going to be a much easier transition for you because most of the people speak a fairly fluent level of English. Um, and you can't say the same thing about Thailand, especially when you go outside the cities. Um, so the Philippines is the clear winner when it comes to language and communication. With that noted, though, with today's technology and translators, it's not that difficult to communicate with people. And whether you're living in the Philippines or in Thailand, I strongly suggest you learn to speak the local language. The reason why is because if you learn the language, you will learn the culture and you will also be able to develop friendships that make a difference. Um, Beliefs and religion. On this one, again, I would say the Philippines is much easier when it comes to understanding the people because it's a Christian country. Most of the people are Catholic. Um, so you can understand their mindset. You can kind of understand where they're coming from. But with that noted, Thais are Buddhist. Uh, you may not understand it too well, but they are extremely accommodating and open people. I've never had any kind of issues with this. Just the main thing is you need to be considerate. Don't be a jerk. Don't be that ugly American or Western guy that comes to the country and insults them. But in terms of this, I'll give it to the Philippines just because familiarity. Dating and marriage. On this one, if you're looking to date, I would say the winner is the Philippines for cheap play. You know, there's a ton of women out there, young and old, that are looking for a nice Western man to date. Um, as far as uh, marriage and serious relationships, I kind of lean towards Thailand, and I'll get into that in a little bit. Now let's look at these options, the things that I have listed here. Let's look at eye candy. Per capita, there's no doubt about it in my mind. Uh, Thailand per capita has better looking women. You'll see more fit, attractive, well dressed uh, Thai women than you do with the Filipinos. Granted, the good looking stunners in the Philippines are absolutely beautiful, but again, per capita, Thailand's the winner. Communication, again, Philippines on this one, as I mentioned earlier, they speak English, so it's going to be easier communicating with them. Family considerations. Now, this one is something that you only really need to consider if you're getting involved in a serious relationship or marriage. On this side, I have heard absolute horror stories when it comes to both countries, but I've heard way more horror stories when it comes to the Philippines on this side from my past ex-work colleagues when I was living in Manila. And from what you can see on the internet as well. When you marry a Filipino woman, you marry the family, just like you do in Thailand. However, due to the grinding poverty, the Filipinas and the way they think, Well, the family, in most cases, is going to assume that you are now their bank. They will look at you and they will accept you, not based on your moral compass or anything like that, but more upon, they see you as a lifeline, a walking ATM, so to speak. So I've heard countless stories of men marrying Filipino women, and then the brothers, cousins, parents coming to them asking them for help, whether it be fixing their house, borrowing money, helping to pay for kids' schooling, what have you. It can be relentless, and if you don't comply, they can get very butthurt, and it can make the relationship stressful with your Filipina or Thai wife. Uh, I strongly suggest if you do start a serious relationship or you get married, don't live anywhere near any of the family members. Distance yourself. I would say, move far away. If you're in the Philippines, I would go to a different island. Make it difficult so they can't just pop up on your door and ask for help. Um, Another thing to consider uh, in marriage. Divorce is a serious problem in the Philippines. It doesn't happen. It can happen. You can get an annulment, but it's very difficult and it is costly. Thailand, no issues there. Now, the reason why I kind of was leaning towards ties when it came to serious relationships and marriage, and it has to do with the motives. The Philippines, when it comes to social upward mobility, it basically is the worst. Um, they exploit one another. I know that Filipinos oftentimes they'll be dirt poor, but in order to apply for a job, they're going to have to pay for background checks. And that only allows them to apply. So you're talking about grinding poverty, and then they have to pay money to get a background check, to apply for a job, which hundreds of people are probably applying for, and the likelihood of getting it doesn't happen. It is a nasty, nasty, horrible situation. Um, so I feel when it comes to the motives of a Filipino woman, it's really difficult to determine sincerity. What's their motive for wanting to hook up with you? Um, in most cases, I find that it is due to your money and the security. In Thailand, the people here, there is more social upward mobility. Um, Therefore, the motives are less. Another motive that you often see with Filipino women is that they would love to move to the United States or to some European country or Australia. The Thais are quite happy living in Thailand, and they don't have any of these dreams of moving overseas in most cases. So that's something that you need to consider. As far as access is concerned, um, I'd say the Philippines, there's more access to women uh, across the board. Uh, yeah. The next one, this one's going to be a little contentious, and I know some people are going to be offended and upset, and I'm very sorry. But from my experience, having dated many Filipino women along with Thai women, I noticed that the Filipino women have an odor, uh, unlike other women that I've been with in Southeast Asia in general. The Thais love to shower. They even have songs about taking showers. Um, I think the reason why the Filipinos have an odor is due to their diet. Take it for what it is. Climate and pollution. The winner on this one is, when it comes to climate, is definitely the Philippines. It is higher north latitude. It's an island chain. You get breezes. It's a little bit cooler, which is nicer because let's face it, Southeast Asia is hot, and the Philippines is a bit cooler than it is in Thailand. However, pollution is something that you need to consider. When I talk about pollution, I'm talking about garbage strewn all over the streets, people dumping their plastic bags. The Philippines is much worse than Thailand on this one. Um, when it comes to air pollution, I would say the Philippines is better than Thailand now, except for Manila. If you were living in Manila, has horrible pollution. It is one of the most densely populated cities per square kilometer than any other large city in Asia. So the pollution can be horrible. Um, there you have it. Cost, spending, and lifestyle. Well, the winner on this one really depends on one's finances and preferences. If you're on a really tight budget, and you don't have little to no savings, then the Philippines is going to be the clear winner, and that boils down mainly to the visas. Um, if you can afford a little bit more, while it's a bit more expensive, you get much better quality and access to things in Thailand. Now, if this is an issue for you, if you're having money issues, you really need to pay attention to this next part. If you want to live the dream life in Southeast Asia, there's a need to invest. Governments are debasing currency by printing money. The pandemic caused the money printers to go burr. This caused global inflation to go into overdrive. If you're holding cash, it's like holding an ice cube. It's melting quickly and it's getting worse. You need to start investing in hard assets and disruption. This will help save your ass. It saved mine. What I've bought in the past 8 years, which caused me to go from basically just getting by to a seven-figure uh, bank account, was I invested in Bitcoin, gold, Tesla, and Nvidia. You need to be looking at these types of things to get ahead. Now, both Thailand and the Philippines are great options to consider. Click the like and subscribe for more content and analysis. Thank you, and Monger on.